How's it going, people? Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is well. I see a few of you lot in here already. How's it going? Let me know how you are this afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Let me know that too. Before we get started, as usual, make sure you hit the like button. Why not start by hitting the like? I am here. You are here. Why not? It makes sense. Let me see what the chat is saying bright and early. Social says he won't start. He'll be put into under 23s. We'll play with the same old shit. This club's doomed for shit. maybe we shouldn't start with the comments that early because we're gonna get into it. Not that I disagree, Social. You know me already. I pretty much agree with that. But we'll get into it shortly. Add me on Instagram. Add me on Twitter. Turkish LDN, as you can see in the bottom right corner. That's the social media handle. And yeah. We've got our first signing of the January transfer window. Was it the one that we all expected? I don't know. On one hand, you can say yeah, because it's a young player when we all expect some experience to come in. Doesn't that sound like typical Arsenal? On the other hand, I think a lot of us would have liked to see a change in philosophy or way of moving, whatever you want to call it. Don't worry, that might come out for the see you later Mesut video. That might have to come out. Bit of a positive start, people. Bit of a positive start. And someone here said, someone said it last night, and I had to check it to be honest. But I see someone here said it as well regarding is it his brother that played for City, or is it his brother that played for City? And yes, I have double checked. Oh yeah, here it is. I have double checked, and they are brothers, and it makes sense. Obviously, Karim was at City, I think between 2011 and 15, if my memory serves me correct. And his little brother was there at the young age of about 11, 12 years old, between 2012 and 2014, again, if my memory serves me correct. So it's obvious he brought his younger brother with him along. Why not? It makes sense if he's a footballer, and at the end of the day, you'd want some home comfort too. I guess his family moved over with them. So it's good that he's got a bit of experience of England in terms of weather, especially because how many times do players come here, see what it's like and think to themselves, this ain't what I expected. I'm looking at Torreira as the most recent example. Saba in the building. Afternoon, bro. Hope you're well. And big up everyone in this chat. Smash the like button, people, as you come in. Come on, Saba. Hope you're well. Chris in the building. Big up Turkish chat room. Sell Arsenal. You already know. Omar, come on, Omar. It's RC, as usual. Baz is in the building as usual too. Come on. You was here last night and you're back again. Every video, 1K. Come on, Taylor. K Show. Ben, all good, my guy. How you doing? I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I've taken a little break from work to bring you guys this video. I know he signed for us yesterday, and I know I done a video last night, but the video last night wasn't really about us, confirming the signature. Dom said he was expecting Messi. Boom, Messi. There's no magicians that can do that for us, apparently. So, come on, bro. I'm good, man. I'm good. Working, same old. Can't complain. Cannot complain. I know on-field recruitments are priorities, but we do need a keeper. If Leno gets injured, we are fucked. Yeah, we are. That goes for a few players, and like you said, on-field recruitments are priorities. But I'm warming to the idea if there is a chance, if there is a viable backup keeper out there in the January window, and a team needs some money considering the year they've had, then why not take advantage of that? Flex a little bit, and it doesn't even have to be heavy flexing. It's just a little flex to get a backup keeper in. So I've warmed to that idea. But I don't want it to be a main piece of business. Like when I said 1 in, 5 out, I didn't mean Omar Rekik in, and I didn't mean a backup goalkeeper in, if that makes sense. More than welcome, I'm not going to judge Omar Rekik and his signing yet because I don't know about him. I don't think anyone really does know too much about him in terms of Arsenal fans anyway. So we just have to wait and see. It's just, come on, Mark. Classic merch, Alexis Smash. Oh, That shirt was cold, but still, I was an idiot for buying all this. But it is what it is. Come on, Jem. Come on, G. Always. Come on, bro. Gumsy in the building too. Future Socrates. Is that what it is? I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I can't lie. Socrates in his prime was a good defender in terms of that old school archetypal type, rough and tough defender. In terms of Rekik so far, I'm not sure that's what I see in him. It seems like he's a ball playing centre back. He's had an interview with Arsenal.com and come on, Duncan. He had an interview with Arsenal.com and, he pretty much said that himself, Turkish stream in midday. I know I got used to it in December when I had the time. Now I ain't got the time no more. It's all about news at 10. But I thought to myself, you know what? I've got a lunch break. Why not just fit this in? Let's have a quick conversation about our new signing. Bobby Dazda says future baller. Future baller. Let's hope so. That's what I don't get, Russell. I'm glad someone said it. Why loan out a young defender to then get another? Makes no sense. And it makes me think that maybe Arteta actually doesn't like Saliba. Maybe, he fancies a Rekik type, even though from what Rekik has said, it sounds like he is a Saliba type. So it's a bit, and I'm only going from what he said and the brief, reports on him. At the end of the day, he's only 19. At the end of the day, he's not very well known. I'm not sure there was many looking out for him in terms of player profiles and whatnot. But I said that to myself straight away. Consistency coming back again. I'm here again. Sorry, I hope you're easy, bro. Come on, G. Come on, my guy. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. If I'm not well, you won't see me on here. Just know that. I'm on here when everything else is going sweet. I can fit this in. He was solid at the back, says Roy. Real ball talk. Turkish, do you think the signing of Rekik has an impact on Saliba? Did you see Saliba's interview at his opening press conference with Nice? Pretty eye-opening. I didn't, If you can quickly sum it up for me, G. If you can sum it up, I'll look out for it in the comments. So I'll focus on the first part, and it's pretty much what I was just saying. Like Russell said, as soon as he came in and I checked 19 years of age, he's been with us a few weeks already. There's been pictures of him in training already, apparently. I said to myself, well, it doesn't really make sense considering his age, considering when you look at the defenders we got. Okay, so you lot all know, yeah? Well, you should know by now that in terms of the future, in terms of the next couple of years, the only defenders before Rekik that I saw at this club was Saliba, Gabriel, and Mari. On top of those three, ideally, you buy two more. It seems like we're giving Holding a new contract or an extension or whatever it is. If that is the case, then so be it. Fifth choice. That's how I see it. If he's getting a new contract, he's fifth choice centre back, which in general is calm because we've got a back two for the future, it seems, and the fifth choice centre back won't necessarily get much game time. So I can get my head around that. Not that I'm happy with it. I can get my head around it. So I thought to myself, all right, add Holding to those three, and then we need one more. But when you look at Saliba and you look at Gabriel and their ages, then you look at Mari, who does bring in experience, but he's the only one. To add Rekik at 19, I just feel like we're on the verge of that whole, it's a transitional phase again, Rekik's 19, Saliba's 19, 20, Rekik just turned 19. So I feel like it's just going to be another case of, we need to wait. But essentially, these young players, they might turn out to be something. Let's look back at Fabregas, for example, and obviously it's a top-notch comparison I'm making, and I'm not making it on quality. I'm making it on the fact, and it is a fact that we relied too heavily upon a young Fabregas. He's come out and pretty much said it after regarding the winners at the club, after losses, being on the team coach and looking around and seeing people on their phone laughing, and him only seeing a couple more winners around and people that actually cared. And then eventually he left. Nasri left. Van Persie left. All of the people that we, you know, at some point cared about left because we didn't, you know, build around them properly. We didn't give them the protection. And in particular, Fabregas at his young age. So same goes for Martinelli, same goes for Saka, and the same goes for Saliba and Rekik. If they turn out to be top defenders, you know, we cannot heavily rely upon them yet. As much as, you know, they might be upset, and it seems that Saliba's upset that he's not been getting enough game time at the club and he doesn't really seem happy with what's gone on. I understand that. But then you play Saliba now, 3 years, you give him the whole platform, and it's a massive platform at Arsenal. As rubbish as we've been recently, the club is still massive. I just feel like it's just not sustainable, because these young players are going to reach a time when they're developed a bit more and they think, you know what, I might need to take the next step with better players around me. Where in reality, we are expecting them to be the better players and waiting for them to be the better players. But they're not going to wait for us to wait for them, you know? So I think it's a bit of a weird one considering his age. But the holding contract stuff has gone quiet. So if Rekik comes in and we're still going to bring in an experienced defender with a bit of a name about him, you know, because so far every defender we've brought in, Mari, Saliba, Rekik, and Gabriel, they haven't had a name about them. They haven't brought in that presence with them. You know, it's up to them to build that. Mari a bit different. He's coming with experience, and you can see that he reads the game very well. But there's no presence there in terms of like a Van Dijk type of impact. Now, I'm not saying we can go out and get a Van Dijk type of defender, but we can get someone in with a name, experience. You know, there's a couple coming to a free transfer in the summer, and I know it's a reach. It's a reach to even think that they'd entertain Arsenal. But the amount of wages that are coming off, you know, we've been a bit reckless with them, with the wages in the past. But if you ask me, would I take a Ramos or a Alaba at 200k a week for a couple of years? I probably would. You know, because that is a presence that I think some of these young defenders will need. I think it's the presence that some of the team, the leadership, the team need. Winners. Like, you need a winner's circle within. Shadman with the super chat, Turkish, I think we should cut our losses with Pepe and see if we can use him for deals. What do you think about loaning Pepe back to Lille and maybe loan Renato Sanchez from them for the next 6 months? Renato Sanchez is a bit of a funny one too. It's someone that, you know, had bags of potential, but it never worked out. And I just feel like, you know, it's a massive risk at a time when, you know, we need to be taking smaller risks. And by smaller risks, I mean moving a bit more, you know, aggressive is the right word. Aggressive with it. Thank you, Real Ball Talk, for backing up the last comment. Here's a snippet. The coach immediately told me that I was not ready. I would have at least liked to have had a chance to rediscover my rhythm. But this is football. It's like that. Quite direct. Now I'm interested to go and actually watch it, if that's a snippet. What I take from that is you can see that he was frustrated. You can see he wasn't happy, and you can see the decision wasn't his. Listen, this is one of those situations where we can't really say whether it's right or wrong what Arteta did and the way he handled it. We can't say whether he's right or wrong in this situation, because I understand Saliba's part and wanting to play. So would I. You know, even with the personal battles, I feel like, you know, when I was playing football, you know, it takes your mind off everything. Essentially, you're free-minded on that football pitch. So I feel like it does help. So I understand what Saliba's saying, but then I understand what Arteta's saying in protection. So I'm not too sure we can define who's right and who's wrong, but, you know, T1, exactly. This must have been a bit earlier, but Ramos or Alaba, you know, I don't mind pushing the boat out for a couple of years on those two. Not both of them, but one of them, for sure. But it might be laughable because we're not going to be in Europe. We're not the main competition anyway. Kofi says, Turkish, I'm always watching your live videos and commenting, but I guess you don't see my comments because they are not super chats. Hit the like button, people. Not even Kofi. As you can see from this stream already, I've mainly been answering normal chats. If I miss chats, I miss chats. What can I do? Sometimes there's thousands of people on here. Sometimes there's hundreds of people on here. So the chat can go fast. Sometimes it can be slower at times. And when it's slower, I can see a bit better. And, you know, Jay, well, don't try my ones, my guy. Don't try my ones, my guy. Trust me. Don't, you can't. Good one, though. Good one still. Yeah, people saying, nah, not Sanchez. Alaba wants like 500k a week or something crazy. That's why Bayern don't want to pay that. To be honest, who is going to pay that at his age? Let's be honest. You know, he's not fucking Messi or them man there. So I'm not sure anyone's going to pay that. So he might get a nice, handsome signing on fee and a very good wage considering he will be free. But, you know, I feel like one of them types would be good to bring in as the fifth. You know, forget the holding contract now. You got Rekik, you got Saliba, two 19-year-olds turning 20 this year. You got Gabriel, 23, you know, this year. You've got Mari, a bit of experience, another left-footed guy to back up Gabriel. So why not bring in the Ram out of the two, Ramos would probably be, I think, yeah, Ramos would probably be the one I would choose to go for. Well, what do you guys think? If we was gonna get one, who would you prefer, Ramos or Alaba? Let me just see what the chat thinks real quick. Let's see what the chat's. While you lot are getting the answers in, Dupe says Turkish. It is wrong, bro, because people in France say Saliba's better than Gabriel. His mother died. He's living by himself, and all he probably thinks of is playing for us, and he's frozen out. I get that. I do. But this league is ruthless as well, dude. You gotta understand that. Look, he played once for Nice. This is my thing. He played once for Nice, and there was more eyes on him playing for Nice that day than there's been on Fofana for Leicester all year. And Fofana's been a name continually mentioned because he's someone that is 19. He was Saliba's partner. He's come from the same team, the same age, and he's slotted in, and he's performed well in Soyuncu's absence. But what I'm saying is the eyes on Arsenal Football Club are completely different, and it shows because the eyes on Nice the other night, yeah, the reviews I was seeing, some of the clips I was seeing just shows me that as soon as he gets put in for Arsenal, as much as he might want to, and you're right, when you read that out, dude, it sounds fucked. There's no other way to put it. It sounds like, how can you not play him? But then you play him, a couple mistakes, media on his back, because nothing's been confirmed with his loss. You know, people haven't confirmed that. It's just been put aside as personal reasons, you know, and people don't need to confirm it. But the media will get on his back. Arsenal fans will get on his back. No doubt. No doubt. So, you know, I feel like as much as I read that and I feel sorry for the kid, you know, I still do understand some parts of what Arteta did and the way the club handled. Let's see what people are saying. We've got 1 Alaba first. Ramos 1-1, 2-1 Alaba, 2-2, 3-2 Ramos, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3. What's that? 5-4. I don't know if I'm double counting them, but I'm just kind of getting a rough idea. 6, 6, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 11. Okay. Ramos is the favorite. Ramos is the favorite. Mavropanos is going to go. Mavropanos is someone that, you know, we extended the contract just to keep the value in him. And the value in him is different because he has an effed up his career at Arsenal Football Club. There's no value in players like Holding and Mustafi and all of these, man. So there is actually value in Mavropanos. Meher says, spot on Turkish. Our fan base is toxic. They'd ruin him for one bad game. Exactly. And if you couple that up with what's actually happened to him, you know, it might do more damage than good. You know, let's see what Dupe's saying in reply. But that is all because Arteta has put him in that situation. All us fans want him all us fans want to see him play. I never once watched him last year, but I am now because we can't see him play. Regardless, though, dude, let's be honest. Take yourself back to before the first game of the season. If Saliba played and he didn't do great, or if Saliba played the first 3 games and the first game against Fulham he was great, and then in the next 2 games he didn't do too well, he made a mistake, he cost us maybe a goal, maybe points. You know, as much as you say you haven't seen him the year before that, and the reason you want to see him now is because of the way he's handled the situation, I think that it's easy to say that now, when the reality is, if he did start the season for us, a lot of people will be judging him. Because none of this whole last 3 months would have happened. None of this feeling sorry for him and all that would have happened. So we would have seen him first and foremost as a defender. We bought £27 million last year. He's coming after a year in France and he's not performing great. And then you know how our fan base is. So as much as I get it, it's brought more limelight on the Saliba situation than actually I can't say. If he played and didn't play great, there would have been a lot more limelight on Saliba and our mismanagement of funds yet again. So as much as it has been highlighted because of the situation Arteta has put him in, or the club, or however it's been handled, I still believe the impact of playing him and potentially throwing him in at the deep end too early would have been greater on his career. We've seen players, we've ruined players in the past by throwing them in at the deep end too young. 6 million says Turkish. I watched Saliba when he played alongside Fofana for a number of games. Saliba got the hype due to Arsenal, but Fofana looked better for me. And that looks like a first-hand analysis of, a time when they was playing together. And at the end of the day, I've heard a few people say that. I'm not going to lie. I've heard a few people say Fofana had always looked the better defender when they played. Now, bear in mind, they haven't played a lot between them in Europe. Obviously, Fofana more so now because he's at Leicester and getting game time because of injuries. But last season, Saliba, for example, started 16 games in all competitions. 16, between personal problems, injuries, and COVID, his season was ripped apart. So I don't know. Over the next, look, Arteta said he's going to be with us next season. He's going to be back for pre-season, There's not much he could have helped us with this year, to be honest. Our attack and transition has let us down again, to be honest. Maybe not the attack again, but the attack was heavily reliant on Aubameyang. And when he dried up, which is, going to happen one way or another eventually, and it did, then, the attack becomes a problem, but the transition's always been a problem. So Saliba coming in, as much as we would have liked to see him, I feel like there's not much he would have changed in terms of how we play. Like, Saliba coming in doesn't aid our transition greatly. So I feel like there's a lot of factors to it. And I can't say for sure what's right or wrong. And I don't think anyone can say for sure what's right or wrong, like I said. Let's see what the people are saying. Come on, Jamie, in the building. Is that what I did, yeah? Sometimes it comes out, man. What can we do? Come on, Lamar. I see you. It's RC. That one ain't going to work again. Patrick says Fofana carried Saliba. I'm not going to lie. Well, Peter says Eddie must be sacrificed and sent on loan or sold for Balogun to come in. He's had his chance and is not good enough, in my opinion. Arteta seems more interested in the player's character than their ability. Eddie definitely needs to go sold, not even loan. Maybe a loan to buy or something. Like, it just needs to be, all of these loans to me, obviously aside from a Mesut Ozil one where it's a loan and then there is no contract to come back to. Intruder alert, a hater in the chat. I don't know who that was, but fuck him. Fair light. Let's be honest. Previous form goes out the window when a player moves from Europe to the Premier League. It does, 100%. It does. And no better example than Nicolas Pepe. London breaking news, emergency incident as 35% of COVID cases higher than the peak back in April. Well, we're locked down here. What can we do? What can we do? Good. Keep it like that, my guy. Keep it like that. From French football, Saliba on Arteta saying he didn't play to protect him. He smiled. No, I have not seen that. Aside from that, I have no intention of responding to. Oh, it seems. Look, listen, them kind of things. Yeah, I can't lie. They damage a relationship, and it's gonna take both of them to hold their hands up and say, "Listen, maybe we could have both handled it a bit better." And that's the only way these problems get sorted. Hey, man, send us something. That's how he asked me how I am. That's how these things get sorted. You know, it's not going to get sorted otherwise. Some of the things said between them now, after reading a couple of those snippets, I just feel like it's things like if it was said about me and I looked at it and I thought, is this what this guy's doing? Remember what I said to you guys about Ozil and doing that thing on Twitter before the season and how I would take it as his manager. I'd take it as he's throwing shots, he's trying to put pressure on me and all of that. I feel like with Saliba, he's kind of done the same. And Saliba doesn't have that reputation Ozil has. Saliba doesn't have the career Ozil has. Saliba doesn't have anything so far. So I feel like he's very cheeky to be so abrupt with it. Those comments seem abrupt, you know, as much as he says, what? No, I had not seen that smiling. I have no intention of responding to what's been said. Well, at the end of the day, you know, that pretty much leaves it in our hands to garner the reception. And he could have, in reality, said, and I'm not saying he should say this, I guess not responding to what's been said if you're not happy is the best thing to do for yourself. You know, even if I do think, you know, you're pushing it a bit, I just feel like, you know, he could have come out and just said, well, I understand why he would think that, but I'm just ready to play. I think that playing football would have been better for me. You know, that's not, you know, putting stuff on Arteta, but at the same time, it's still telling us what you're telling us with these comments. So I think, I don't know, should we call it media training or whatever? But I'm not media trained. That's the thing, and that's something I'd say. Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't really blame the manager for trying to protect me. You know, 16 games last season, injuries, personal issues, COVID. Right? It's not the best platform. Regardless, it's not the best platform. So I think he's just a bit cheeky. He's kind of stepping out of his box a little bit. He's kind of... I don't trust the journalists and media. They can misquote completely. That's why I'm gonna look into it and see. Chris says Turkish 100. Bobby says he's just saying the truth, innit? Sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes, but when you haven't done nothing and you know, you're new to a club and stuff, sometimes speaking the truth too soon can have a negative impact on on not only your career, but, you know, your reputation at that club, and in turn your career. Sorry. Do I like Saliba? I don't know enough about Saliba to like him. I like what I've seen so far. I like his age, because from what I've seen, there is a lot of room for development. And I like, you know, that we're finally, you know, reshuffling the defenders. But do I like him? And can I say he's going to be the guy? I can't. Honestly. Slim Reaper in the building. Big up, teammate. Just dropped in on the way to work on this manky bus. Mate, good luck out there, man. Good luck out there. The whole thing is in French, by the way. Nice uploaded a 30-minute presser. Get French football, our drip feeding quotes. Okay. Well, I'll look into it and see if I can find out, you know, what he really said. I've got a couple of French friends. I'd actually ask him direct to see what he said. Another one that you should, you know, call it a day. It ain't gonna work. I'm on the ball. And even the ones that do work, I pronounce it with a twang, so it doesn't even have the desired impact. Big up out of context. That last one didn't quite, you know, hit the sweet spot. GG Upload says, disagree, Turk, especially if he's seen it, which we know he has because the internet can't stop talking about it. Pretty sure he's tired of being reminded what's happened to his family. True. And maybe you can disagree with that, because maybe we would have found out even if he started the first 3 to 5 games of the season. But it still doesn't make me turn to Arteta and say, you should have fucking started him. It really doesn't. And when you look at the problems we've had this season, you know, especially early on, defense wasn't our issue. And even through our bad patch, it was a bit of an issue, especially that right-hand side, Bellerin more so than Holding. But would you guys really want Bellerin to be covering Saliba? You know, the experienced Bellerin, captain to be and all that, 25 years of age. How long has he been at the club? Because that's how the club would look at it. Saliba, Bellerin, nice. Young guy in there, Bellerin, you know, experienced. But I guess that might have played a part too. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. It might have been the wrong thing to do. But I'm not agreeing with you guys because it might have been the right thing to do. With Saliba, I don't care too much. He wouldn't have had an impact. He wouldn't have had a massive impact on our season. You know, he's going to have a massive impact on our season. That means he wasn't going to have a massive impact on our season. He felt exiled more than protected. I don't know why. Surely, I'm not sure, but wasn't he training with the first team? Let me know. If he wasn't training with the first team, then okay, it might be a bit more of a feeling of being exiled. But, you know, if he was, then he's part of the lads. Listen, this says way more about Arteta than it does about Saliba. That's facts. Arteta told him he wasn't ready. Why didn't our board tell Arteta he wasn't ready? Okay. True. But again, if we take it back there, you're right. You know, Arteta hasn't got the experience to necessarily say when someone's ready or not. We can say that. But it still doesn't change the fact that, for example, bro, can you say for sure after having the year that he had that playing him would have been the best thing to do? Can you say for sure? And as much as you might say, yeah, you cannot, my bro. No one can say for sure if playing Saliba this season would have been in his best interest. Like, I can't say for sure playing him would have ruined him. That's just what I believe. And the fact so many people watched that Nice game and so many people are invested in Nice all of a sudden just shows me that if he played for Arsenal, the pressure would have been immense. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing I don't get, Arteta brave enough to start a goalkeeper, which is confidence level, but couldn't play Saliba in the Europa group stage. But in honesty, I feel the same as you, Turkish. And there is things to question there. You know, there is definitely, because this one is like when he was kind of aggressive with the red card of Pepe, and then he was a bit more lenient with the red card of Xhaka. It was like the same kind of a situation, but he threw one in at the deep end, and the other one, he protected him. This one is a bit similar in that sense where, you know, with Saliba, he protected him. With Runnison, he threw him in at the deep end, you know. But Runnison being thrown in at the deep end, listen, we didn't have much of an opinion of Runnison because he was a cheap goalkeeper. He came in as a backup. And within about 3 games, within 3 games, whatever hope that guy had about playing for Arsenal in the future is finished. It's finished. If I ask people their opinions of Runnison now, based off of 3 games we've seen him, people are going to say, no, thank you. You know, no, thank you. And that's what I'm saying about Saliba. Yes, we might know a bit more about Saliba, but all it takes is 3 games and a 90 minutes like that. Yeah. I don't know if it's different for keepers, but that's all it takes for everyone to be like, oh, well, that, you know, he ain't the one that we need. And that's just my thing about Saliba. You know, I just feel like it's a risk, and there's examples out there where it gives me a reason to feel like this. Yeah, and this is true. They already admitted they fucked up not registering him in Europe. This stinks of poor planning. Are we rebuilding or not? If we are, Mustafi should not have been registered. 100%. And there's even an argument that, forget Saliba for a sec, why wasn't Socrates registered ahead of Mustafi? So Mustafi's done a lot more, like, had a lot more calamities for this club than Socrates. But at the end of the day, you know, they're both not good enough. Fabian says, notice how clueless Edu is handling in A to Z order. Awar, Basuma, Brandt, Buendia, Costa, Draxler, Ine. How he picked Arteta too, I don't know. I don't even think he picked Arteta. I feel like it was a package that maybe Vinay came about with. Vinay with Kroenke and said, listen, maybe we bring in the next player, put him as a manager. Maybe we bring in the next player and put him as the, you know, head of football. Who can we bring out there? Should we bring someone like Mark Overmars? No, he's going to ask for too much. You know, should we bring in someone like David O'Leary? Let's talk to him. Why not? He might be all right. You all right, David? Yeah. Are you interested in coming on? Yeah, mate, definitely. I love Arsenal, but I want to be on the board too. Like, I got to have some say in decisions. No, we're good. No, we're good. Thank you. You know, so I feel like they sold us a package of Arteta and Edu because they're ex-players and they knew it would buy them some time. And the handling in the market prior to Edu was rubbish. And essentially, so far, there's a lot of examples to say it's poor again. There's a couple to say it's worked out. Mari, Gabriel, Partey. But there's a lot to say, what are you doing? And that Willian one is a massive, what are you doing? It's a massive one. Massive one. In fact, I'd put Willian in there too, because Willian, as much as we've signed him and he plays for us already, I wish he didn't. I wish we could just turn back the hand of time on that one. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what Dupe's saying. Again, Turkish, you're being naive with that statement. Which one, my bro? Pepe was not great, and we were willing to give him time. And again, Dupe, Pepe had something behind him where we saw him and we was excited by him. You know, that's why he gets maybe a bit more time. It's not like you can bring in Pepe at his age and with what he's done and then treat him like Saliba. Pepe didn't have the year. Pepe's year prior to signing for Arsenal was 20 plus goals and 10 plus assists, I think. Saliba's year prior to signing for Arsenal was, 16 games, COVID, personal issues, and injuries. So it's completely different, my bro. Saliba is 19. We know that he will not be the same player he is today in 2025. Well, we know he's not going to be the same player, but we don't know whether he's going to be a good player in 2025. Steer clear of Draxler, please. Again, 5 years too late if we're ever to entertain that. Dom says, spot on, Turkish. Pepe had one good season, but he had a good season. What are we going to take that away from him? He had a fantastic season. Yeah, then he came in, and even with Pepe, there's arguments to be made that he wasn't given a fair, consistent run in the team, chopping and changing, different managers. It didn't even seem like the first manager wanted him, But it's a very different debate to the Saliba one. Look at their ages. Look up, what they did a year prior to signing for us. Completely different. There's no way you can compare the two. There's no chance you can compare the two. Saliba didn't have no good, my guy. Saliba is a prospect, If you're saying Saliba's one good season is comparable to Pepe's one good season, you're a madman. You're a madman. Pepe had a fantastic season. Saliba came out as a prospect after, a good season. You can't say one had a good season, the other had a good season when one, set the league alight and the other came through as a youngster as a centre-back at Saint Etienne. You cannot compare the two. It doesn't make sense. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Newman says, do you know how good of a youth player to get through such a dysfunctional situation like Arsenal? Rekik is going to have a hard time to develop. How would you make it? You make it easier by getting rid of the dead wood and the players that bring down the, bring down the character and mental of the squad. And by that, I mean the Xhakas, Bellerins, Mustafa, the Wenger, the Wenger era players and the players that have let us down so often in the past few years. You start getting them out at a fast pace. You're bringing players into a better environment. You're not bringing players in to be looked after by the players I've just mentioned. If a new player comes in and it's Bellerin and Xhaka showing him around town and all that, it's not exactly great, is it? Because then they're going to become friends and Bellerin's going to be on one side saying, yeah, like, we're good. Like, we want to win, but it's not that deep. And then Xhaka's on the other side saying, oh, yeah, and fuck these fans. These fans, you don't give a don't listen to what they say. They're rude, they're aggressive, like they're pricks. Just play your ball and do you. It's not the best environment to be coming into. We haven't exactly got the right people here for players to come into. You're right. But you get rid of these players ASAP and then you create a better environment. See what the people are saying. Pepe probably has next season left 100%. Next season left to prove himself 100%. And you know what? At the moment, I don't think it's going to happen. We will pretty much know whether it's going to happen in the next 6 to 8 months. Towards the end of this season and the start of next season, we'll know. We'll know. Say this on Twitter and it was, mate, you can't have an objective opinion as an Arsenal fan without being called negative. Exactly, that's my point. You can't compare Pepe and Saliba. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I don't know if we're arguing about the same thing, but did Pepe really have a good season? He scored 10 penalties, but he scored the 10 penalties. At the end of the day, Fernandes is up there, statistically with some of the best last year. But, as much as people mention his penalties, they don't knock him. Pepe scored his penalties. What can we do? What can we do? This is what I feel it is. People just think that he's gonna come in and be like Maldini / Rio / Vidic or something. Like I'm, it's a risk. So let's wait and see how that risk pans out. Now I see what is wrong with us. We quickly forget about getting rid of the dead wood. If we don't get rid of them, we can't get new players. Kofi, you see what I'm saying? Because it is these players that like the Bellerins and the Xhakas that actually embrace new players, and because they're all about friendships, that's what they're all about. Friends. Remember when Tierney came in and Bellerin was like, "Oh, you're so cool, bro. I like the way you tuck in your shirt and all that." Like, it's like, my guy, Tierney just wants to come in and ball and go home, bruv. Like, stop putting attention on him. That's the mentality of the players we've got here. So Tierney might come in and not get swayed by that. Evidently, he's not that type of character. But then you'll get some younger players, especially, come in and come in. Like, look at Guendouzi. I feel like Guendouzi came into an environment where he was embraced and he liked it, And I feel like that was a bit of his downfall too. I feel like he got a bit comfortable at the club because of his friendships with other players, other players that had some... It's a family thing. Kofi, true point. Come on, makes sense. We just need to get rid, 100% get rid. Hence why I'm saying 5. Get rid of 5 straight away. See what the people are saying. Code 12 in the building. Big up Turkey. Should Arsenal follow the Ajax way by developing talent instead of buying it? Because Arsenal are never a club that spend big. Well, listen, we've got to find a way of working, because this whole self-sustaining model is what brought us into this position as it is. So we need to figure out something that's going to help us get out of the position. It's not going to be self-sustaining again. We're going to need to think of something. And it looks like we are doing that whole younger player recruitment in the aim that in a few years we're going to sell a couple of them and make some money. That's just the way the world works, and I'm not going to say that's wrong yet, because for Liverpool, it turned out to be great. and their model thrived off of those sales. Well, more so Coutinho than Suarez because the right manager got the money. But I feel like it does look like we are heading down that route. It's just taking too long. It's too slow again. It's not good enough again. You know, it needs to be a quicker transition. You can't just get rid of Wenger and think job done. You can't just, you know, get rid of players one by one and contracts running down. And like, for example, yeah, who would have thought West Ham could get, how much did they get? 25 mil for Haller. Hands up, who thought they could have got that? Because I've got so many people telling me that we can't sell players. We can't sell players. Haller has had a torrid time since he came to this league. Torrid. Did they pay, what, 40 million for him? And he's been terrible in this league. But they got 25 for him. And that's West Ham. They bought him the same month we bought Pepe, I believe, July 2019. So they bought Pepe. I mean, we bought Pepe that year. And we're going to continue. And I believe it's right to continue for the next 6 to 12 months with Pepe. But West Ham brought someone in. It didn't work. 40 mil. 45 mil, says Junior. A year and a half later, 25 mil. I know you said low at the end, and I get it. It's a 20 million loss in 16 to 18 months. But that shows that they move on. That shows they're proactive. That shows that they're thinking, should we let this guy really run down the contract and lose value? We might as well just cut our losses now and get 25 in. You know, because every club needs to take risks, and every risk, yeah, it either fails or it's a success. And we're going to go through, you know, risks that fail again, like Pepe. It seems like that's a risk that's failed, was failed so far, that's for sure. Might fail in the long run. And we need to do more risk taking and hope we can make a success out of more, like Liverpool eventually did. But, you know, if Haller can go for 25 million, then I don't understand how we can't get rid of our players. Honestly. Actually, yeah, it's 30 rising to 45. I thought it was 35 rising to 45. That's why I went for a 40 million mark. But regardless of what it is, I don't think it reached. I don't think it didn't reach 45 million. You know, and at the end of the day, they probably had some sort of clauses in there that if he plays 2 seasons, they get some more money. So you know, they move quick. Regardless if they lost money in the deal, they've moved quick. Kofi again, my guy. We get rid of the wrong players most of the time. Now we want to give Holding a new contract. How on earth will we want to do that? Flops, Bellerin, Xhaka. If like Kofi, it sounds like you know you've been a subscriber for a long time, and you probably saw my keep or sell video December the 31st, and you probably saw how many people I think we need to get rid of. There's definitely people on there that have more of an impact in the dressing room than others. I'd say the Xhakas and the Mustafi, Xhaka, Mustafi, the Ozils, Bellerin, they have a much bigger impact in the dressing room than I'd say the Rob Holdings. Rob Holding, as much as, you know, I'm done with him as a player and, you know, there's not much left for me to trust in him anymore. I don't feel like he is a clown like Bellerin or Mustafi or, you know, these men that I just mentioned. I don't feel like he's a clown like them. I just feel like he's not good enough. Them men are not good enough, both quality-wise and mentality, character-wise. Rob Holding, mentality and character, I can't really knock him too much. I feel like he's got the right mentality and character. He's just not the player we need in terms of quality and in terms of attributes. So, and that's not me saying we should give Holding a new contract. I'm just saying that as much as, you know, people need to go, there should be a list in terms of impact too. Michael says, my guy, big love from South Africa. Great content. Thank you. Thank you. Over 700 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. How much are we on? Only on 200. Come on, people. Hit that like button. Bring in man like Soyuncu and Demiral. Mate, Demiral would be... Because Demiral is young and it will go against what I'm saying with experience. But he brings something we don't have too, which is complete and utter heart, no nonsense type defending, and he's also a good defender too. He's not great on the ball, but he's a defender that you'd love as a fan of the club, because you know every single game you're going to get 150%. 150%. You can't buy a player and always hope you can sell them on for more. Sometimes you need to assess the situation and realize it may be the time to cut losses and reinvest. Arsenal give too many chances. Look, Chelsea done it with Morata. United done it with Lukaku. You know, sometimes you've got to do it. But we don't ever do it. We don't ever do it. Come on, David, in the building. Hit the like, but guys, come on, 200. We need to get that up there to 500 at least. What's the time? 50 minutes in? Holding can be our Seagan. Do you think I don't want another Seagan, my guy? I don't want another Seagan. I am good. I am good. Happy Friday, Turk and chat. Yeah, come on, it's Friday, people. It's Friday. FA Cup weekend. Crotus, I've heard this for 5 years, my guy. I've heard this for 5 years. You know, there comes a time where I stop hearing that. I stop hearing that. So we've got some people saying it was 25 for Hala. I thought it was a bit more than that, but regardless, either they made a loss or broke even on that, you know. And Chris, Holding can improve at Newcastle. Perfect. You know, that's the perfect way to put it. Just a few months ago, he was on the verge of going to Newcastle. Look how big a risk that Salah was. Flopped at Chelsea. Look how that worked. That 32 million. And it was a risk at a good price. It was a shrewd risk, that one. You know, a shrewd risk. And it worked out. It worked out. Even with Man City. I don't know. De Bruyne was 30 for me. I've always liked De Bruyne. But similar to him, you know. He played here, he left, and Man City took the risk on bringing him back for a bit more money than obviously the other one went for. But support says we've had too many Demirals. We need a thinking defender. Everyone was gassing up Gabriel, but it's clear that Mari is the better defender. It needs to be a good mix. In my opinion, we haven't had a Demiral. I'll be honest with you. Demiral's potential is a much better Koscielny. And for me, we haven't had the Demiral type in terms of someone you can rely on first and foremost. Name me the last defender we've had that we can rely on. You know, so in that sense, that's what I mean. And then when you look at the people around, like the Gabriels, like you said, Saliba, Mari, and Rekik, Demiral's qualities are missing from that bunch, you know. So I believe he comes in, and out of the lot of them, who do you see as if you know much about Demiral, who comes out and strikes as the leader amongst the lot? Well, it might be Mari because of the way he plays and the way he reads the game, but in my opinion, the attributes that Demiral has scream leadership to me more than any of the other defenders we have. Would I play Mari and Gabriel together? You know, it's worth a try. They're our best defenders at the club at the moment, so it's worth a try. But they are both left-footed, so I always looked at it as Mari is back up to Gabriel in terms of that left-footed centre-back side. 18 months ago, we were linked to Upamecano. Now it seems like a joke being linked to such a player. Of course, it was a joke, my guy. And then what? Upamecano's got a release clause this summer about 40 million or something. Well, we ain't got a chance there. Kofi, again, we Arsenal fans are too sentimental when it comes to these players. We need men, not boys, in this football club. I don't even want to continue reading Kofi because that is perfect. It's true. We need men, not boys. Remember when Everett used to laugh at us and make a mockery of us before really social media really kicked off? We was banter before social media really kicked off. Everett used to call it boys versus men all the time. You know, we have many players who just talk and don't do anything. Xhaka, Bellerin, Mustafi, Holding. You already know. Do you think we should sell Saka? No way. Saka's going to be the one that we need to try to keep hold of him and make sure we give him enough around him for him to feel like we're going in the right place to win things, because that's what he's going to deserve throughout his career, to play for a club that's winning things. And if we're not that club, he will leave us. He will leave us. Man said, hey, this Kofi guy is speaking facts. He is. Come on, I'm surprised I haven't really seen his comments before, but, you know, the finances from not being in Europe will affect us more than COVID, bro. No fans in the stadium for the majority of the season. Also, I have no remorse for them. You know, I have no remorse and I will not let up. You took the piss out of us for years. You charged us over the top for years. I go in there, and if I want a burger and a drink, it's £10. And sometimes when you rush to a game, you need to spend that, otherwise it's peak. So they've taken the piss so long, they've extorted us for so long. Yeah, they've made that money. So they can piss off if they think a year or two of no fans is going to make me turn around and say, they're not getting enough. You're right. They're not getting enough now, but they got more than enough for 10 plus years. So the more than enough they got, they better pull it out of their arse or wherever they left it and start using it, because, they really took the piss. They really took the piss. Chris said, big up Turkish. You said you got FIFA game, but how about Sensible Soccer? Smashed it back in the day. LOL. Sensible Soccer. I remember that, Was that Super Nintendo? Super Nintendo? Or was it Nintendo 64? I'm sure it was one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember it. But ISS back in the day was the one. Big up Chris and hashtag sell Arsenal. As always, you guys already know. Keep that, in your bios on Twitter. Keep all of that. I'm going to make a picture soon that, simple picture that we can all have up on our DPs or have up on our Twitters and post or whatever. Just, simply sell Arsenal. It needs to make a lot more noise this year. What's your opinion on the players being vaccinated now? Well, if they're vaccinated, they can play football. I want to see football, so it's up to them. If they don't want it, I'm not going to say you have to have it because I want to see you play football. If they don't want it, it's up to them. But if they're all for it, then, Mr. PKA, Turkish speaking facts, Emirates robbery. That's what I'm saying. Charles Watson Gunner at it on Twitter. Not again. Not again. I don't know how Lee manages to rub up all these people the wrong way, man. Let me go see what's going on. I assume you mean Charles Watts, right? Let me see what's going on. No. Taking you 3 months to come out with a lie like this. They're actually going back and forth. Listen, I ain't interested. It's funny, but I ain't interested. I can't lie to you, man. I just do my thing and keep it moving. Talk to you guys, keep it moving. Brad says, hopefully COVID pushes Kroenke to sell. Big up Perk. Come on, hopefully it does. But my man's using, come on, Snez, my guy. But now he's taking loans off our government, for fuck's sake. So I don't know what's going on, man. Now he's just made a quick change. Well, not made it. We have to pay it back in 6 months, which I don't get anyway. That's why I just think it's for the books. And like I said, I can't judge what we're going to do with the 120 million yet. I'm going to wait. I know what I think is going to happen, which is nothing, and it's for their benefit. But as always, all you can do is wait. So they've taken out the 120 million loan. My thinking behind it is that they're trying to balance up the books for this last financial year as much as possible to be able to move forward as best as possible. Yeah. If that is the case, then this summer we will see, we will see our profit and loss figures really soon anyway. And then bang, summer we will see when the wages come off, when we pay that loan back, we get another installment of the Adidas thing and all of that stuff. It's all going to come to this summer. It needs to be this summer on paper, as people like to say, should be our biggest summer ever. It should be, with the amount of wages. I don't care about COVID. This is Arsenal Football Club. Like I said, they've extorted us too long for them to turn around and act like a year or two of lower income matters. I'm going to be honest. So this summer should be our biggest summer ever. But we'll see. 120 million just to balance the books. Big companies have loaned double what we have. Yeah, I've seen that as well. I think Tottenham even took 175. But obviously, another example of why they push Arsenal in the news more so than any other club, because we click the most. And yeah, that's still happening. He got held up a bit. Not held up, but he was a bit busy over the holiday, so it didn't happen. But it's still in the pipeline. Like, that's still going to happen. And I'm going to give enough notice when it does. Extortion is the only word. Turkish spot on again. It's last summer we could have done it. You're right. But this summer, it happens without having to do anything. It happens. Do you get me? So last summer they can say, "Oh, we tried, it didn't happen." And all of this stuff that they told us. But in reality, this summer it is happening. So act. There is no excuses left no more. Now I remember Sensible Soccer. Was it Amiga? Because I had Amiga too, but I thought it was on other consoles too. But mad. I had to go up to my loft, back at my mum's and see if I can find all these old consoles. But yeah, let me not move on to old consoles. Yeah, let me just get this PS5 in, wait for the new FIFA to come out, and just start smashing everyone that that thinks they're odd. But people, we're an hour in, and that's pretty much it. Welcome to Arsenal, Omar, Rekik, and that's all I have to say. That's all I really have to say. We'll see how it works out. The next 6 months are big. Bülent Ersoy, yeah, come on, G. Make sure you tune in. They wanted Mustafi to renew his contract. Do you really believe they won't do the same with Bellerin and Xhaka? We'll see. And if they do, then more people join the wave, the sell Arsenal wave. It's up to them, like everything's been up to them that led me to feel like this and that have led you lot to feel the way you lot are feeling. Things like Bellerin and Xhaka extensions will have more people on our wave, and we need more people on the wave because other waves are quite a bit bigger at the moment than ours, but ours needs to be the biggest. And once it is, we can keep it moving. Nah, not this afternoon. I got to get back to work. Hour 5 minutes in, people. Hit the like button, and this will definitely happen. Hit the like button. Omar, I ain't starting now. Hit the like button, people, and I'm out. Take care. Have a good day. Oh, yeah, Big Six show tonight, 10 p.m. I ain't got to tell you guys already. You already know what it is. Big Six. I'm back tonight, 10 p.m. Make sure you're here live. Get your questions and thoughts in, people. I am out.